Hello, and welcome to this TSW Sports preview of the 2021 NCAA Volleyball National Championship. I'm your host, John Kelly. Before we get talking about the National Championship, let's take a recap of Thursday's semifinal matchups. First off, let's talk about number 1 seeded Wisconsin versus number 4 seeded Texas. Texas got the sweep over the Badgers in 3 sets, 26-24, 25-19, and 25-23. Logan Eggleston led Texas with 17 kills, 9 digs, 1 block, and a service ace. And Skylar Fields finished with 12 kills and 2 digs for her third straight double-digit kill performance. Jenna Gabriel dished out 42 assists and had 8 digs and 1 block. Nalani Ozia led the team with 12 digs and added 4 assists and 2 service aces. Morgan O'Brien and Sydney Peterson both had an incredible performance on Thursday, each with 9 digs. Overall, this was an incredible performance, a bit of a blowout and a bit of an underdog statement, as Wisconsin has been ranked number 1 pretty much the entire of this year. So Texas getting the sweep over them is a big statement piece for this team. But now let's move on to the other game from Thursday. It's the number 2 seeded Kentucky against the number 6 seeded Washington Huskies. Kentucky won 3-1 over the Huskies, 25-18, 23-25, and 25-20, 25-23, and 25-17. This match included a very peculiar situation because Wisconsin was out of challenges despite a very obvious infraction by Kentucky that could have been challenged if they had them. But as the player performances, there was an incredible performance by AVCA National Player of the Year, Madison Liley, who had 63 assists, really incredible. There was also an incredible performance by Gabby Curry, who had 17 digs, and also an incredible performance by Avery Skinner, who led all the players in the match with 19 kills. Really incredible performances by these women and by this team. Now let's talk about this upcoming matchup Saturday. Number 4 seeded Texas versus number 2 Kentucky. Texas has had an incredible year. They're 27-1. Their only losses to unranked Rice. They're currently on a 7-game win streak, and they're the number 2 team in the nation for the longest time. Kentucky, on the other hand, is 23-1. They had a loss to number 9 Florida, which was interestingly within 4 days of Texas' loss to Rice. They're also on a 7-game win streak. Both have had an incredible run in this tournament, but both have been in kind of similar situations. SEC and the Big 12 not known for their volleyball, aside from some really strong powerhouses. Texas and Kentucky are 2 of those. Texas having its bane in Baylor, and Kentucky having its bane in Florida, who they lost to. But both have prevailed. Both have made it to this national championship. Here's Texas head coach Jared Elliott on how it feels to be back in the national championship.
Yeah, we're super fired up. You know, it's been a while. But, you know, this is such a cruel profession because only one coach gets to win this at the end. And it's such a challenging profession. So you take a lot of it to trying to raise young women and do it the right way. And for me, this group is such a special group that you want them to learn the lessons by ultimately winning the championship. And that's what we're going to try to do as a staff and get ready here in the next 48 hours.
And now here's Kentucky head coach Craig Skinner on getting to the championship and going forward in this process as they head towards this Saturday matchup.
Well, it's a big accomplishment. I mean, you know, everything from getting the Final Four and beyond is going to be an accomplishment. And you know, it's significant. Our players, you can see the excitement, enthusiasm. These players, I mean, no one's ever going to be able to take this away from them. And you know, for us to be our best against the winner of this next match, you know, we need to enjoy it here for a couple hours while we're watching the match and getting a feel for you know, Wisconsin and Texas. And then tomorrow, it's on. We don't have a day, 2 days in between like we did before this match. So we only have a day, and tomorrow we got to spend a lot of time in preparation.
Now, there's a lot riding on the line for both of these teams. For Kentucky, if Kentucky were in this championship game, they'd be the first SEC team to win the national championship. And for Texas, it would be really big for them after that disappointing short run with the loss to Louisville in 2019. And in addition, after that loss to Rice, they were bumped down in the rankings. In addition, they've been number 2 behind Wisconsin all this time, and they've beaten Wisconsin. They swept them. It was a really big performance. Many people thought that matchup on Thursday was the real national championship between the two best teams in the country, and Texas swept them. And I think that says a lot going into this matchup, and it says a lot about the Big Ten's dominance. I mean, Big 10 had many teams in this tournament, and none of them are in the national championship. I think having 2 non-Big Ten teams is a huge statement piece for other conferences. Have an SEC team and a Big 12 team, and I think both of these teams know that, and they have something to prove that other conferences can. But I'm going to have to take Texas in this one. Despite being the number of Kentucky, I think overall Texas is the much better team, and we saw their dominant performance and the amazing ball handling against Wisconsin on Thursday. I'm going to have to take Texas in this one. Call it 3-1. Well, that's it for me. Thank you for listening along to this 2021 NCAA Volleyball Championship preview. You can catch the game, number 4 Texas versus number 2 Kentucky, on ESPN2 at 7 p.m. this Saturday. I hope you tune in. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.